Hello once again friends. Under HR Capability Building Program, this is Psychology for HR series, and today we would discuss reliability and validity. If somebody asks me which is the most important topic in psychology for HR professionals, and if I have to say 2 or 3 topics, I'm pretty much sure reliability and validity would certainly be one of them, because whatever HR processes you are handling or you like to handle, if you want it to be right, accurate, consistent, and if you want it should give results, you need to be very much aware of what is reliability and validity and how to bring in reliability and validity in your processes. That's what we'll learn today. And I am Vikas Vats. You can know more about me at vikasvats.com. My company is Value Added Training Systems, VATS.in. In this session, we learn about reliability, validity, and how we can use the principles of reliability and validity to optimize the 8 HR processes. I would give you examples of all of these 8 HR processes, how without knowing reliability and validity, you can never optimize these 8 HR processes. So let's start with the reliability. What is reliability? As the name suggests, reliability is how reliable somebody or something is. So if we are talking about people, we would say reliability is how reliable a person is. If we are talking about HR tools, they can be tests, psychometrics, or HR processes. Then again, reliability is consistency. So when we say reliability, what we mean is consistency. How consistent somebody or something is. Can you rely upon somebody? Can you trust somebody? So when would you trust somebody? When would you rely on someone? When somebody shows consistency. So this is about person. Similarly, in HR processes, tools, technologies, whatever we use, even psychometric tests, we want them to be consistent. If they are not giving consistent results, they are not useful for us. So reliability means consistency. So there can be many types of reliability. So this is for psychology purpose. As HR professional, you need not go into this much detail. You can just understand it can be internal reliability and external. Internal reliability is when any tool, process, or scale or test, how much different parts of the test are consistent with themselves. So if you have a hiring process, it is a 5-stage hiring process, and so we'll say internal reliability is that how much consistent these 5 processes are with each other, and external consistency would be how much consistent the complete hiring process is for different candidates. So, but as HR professional, you just need to remember reliability means consistency. How it will be used in HR processes, that is coming. Now, validity. Validity is accuracy. If reliability is consistency, validity is accuracy. How much accurate something or somebody is. So if you say, see this picture, so there is no reliability because this is not consistent, and also there is no validity. In this picture, this is no validity. In this picture, this is valid because this is accurate. So validity is accuracy. So this picture is accurate, this is valid. This is not valid, this is not accurate. This is not valid, this is not accurate. So this is validity, right? So I would say validity is when you ask somebody or you ask yourself, are you sure? That means you are talking about validity. So it can be any HR process, engagement strategy, PMS system, it can be anything. When you say, are you sure? It means you are talking about validity. So validity assures you. Reliability versus validity. So till now, what we know is reliability is consistency and validity is accuracy. So how they are related? So if you have to assess this picture based on reliability and validity, what would you say? Let's take this test. Is this picture or the shooter reliable? Is he consistent? And is he valid? Save your opinion. This is not reliable, not valid. Now this picture. Is it reliable? Is it valid? This is not reliable because consistency is not there, but it is valid because if you will find overall scores, the validity may not be 100%, but it is more than 50-60%. So that the person knows how to shoot. He's not 100% accurate. He is not 100% valid, but he knows how to shoot. Now this picture. Now you will see this person is consistent. He's consistent. But what about validity? He's reliable but not valid. And this. He's consistent and valid. Both. And validity is high. Not like previous picture, not like this picture where validity is low. Here validity is high. This picture, the validity is high. So that's how it works. Reliability and validity. How to measure them? So good news is, as HR professional, you may never be required to measure reliability and validity. You will always be required to make processes reliable and valid and ask questions to different vendors and different people and to yourself whether something is reliable or valid. What you will require to do is, number one, as I said, you need not learn how to measure it. And of course, if you want to learn, you can. So for that, you can search on Google something like how to measure reliability, how to measure validity. There are different kinds of reliability and validities, but they are mostly psychological topic, or you want to do some research designing or HR analytics, then you have to go into that much of detail. So whatever best you can do with 80-20 principle, you just learn 20% of it and get 80% results. That you will learn in this video. So good news, you need not learn how to measure. Second, you need to know is that these two variables, reliability and validity, can be between 0 to 1. So you can say 0 is 0%, 1 is 100%. It can be 0 to 1. So any test, tool, process, psychometric test, which has validity less than 50% or 0.5 is anyway useless. Now it depends on you, what kind of validity and reliability you would consider in your organization. So normally we go for a reliability and validity at least, I repeat, at least more than 0.6. Ideally, it should be more than 0.7. So that's the scale we work with. Another good news, you may only focus on validity, and of course, higher the better. If the reliability and validity are higher, it is always better, as much as you can go for them. And of course, below 0.5 or below 50%, it is less than tossing a coin, because if I toss a coin for 20 times, as per probability theorem, I will get head and tail both 50-50%. Next, what you need to know is, if something is validated, then it is validated against what? Now, for example, somebody has made a weighing scale. Now, you need to find whether it is valid, whether it is giving accurate result. So what you will do is, you will ask many people to stand on the weighing scale and on some other scale, and then you will compare how good this scale is. But if you have to do this, then if you already have another scale against which you are benchmarking, then why to make a new scale? So if you are making some new scale, some new process, you are doing something new and validating it against something else, then there should be some takeaways, some benefits. For example, the new process or tool is taking less time, it is portable, it is less costly, or in some way, for if your interviewing team is going to various institutes to hire every year. So instead of that, if you start using online test, so you would like to see, when you start using the online test that year, you would like to do the online test and also the one-to-one physical interview. Then you will try to find the correlation, that how valid the online test is. Now online test makes sense because you will save a lot of time, money and effort when people are not going institute to institute for hiring. So you need to find it is validated against what. Similarly, these days, COVID test kits. So there are some rapid test kits which can give result in 15 minutes, but are they valid? So we need to validate them against the kits which we know give good results, but in 2-3 days, right? So any validation has to happen against something. Now, most important aspect, reliability and validity in HR processes. Here we learn reliability and validity, how to use whatever we have learned till now in various HR processes. We start with L&D. So any learning and development program for reliability or consistency, you would like to find out whether this program is reliable, consistent throughout all the batches. So how the consistency is coming? That's what you like to know. What is the reliability? And if you say whether it is giving the desired results, whether there is impact, that is validity. So if you can calculate ROI, that is validity. So in L&D program, if you bring in reliability and validity, that will make the program more consistent in all the batches, and it will give desired results. R&R. So is your R&R program consistent in engaging the people, or after some time they are losing the interest? This is reliability. Whether it is giving the results for whatever purpose you introduced R&R program, maybe for sales you introduced for increasing the sales, whether it is giving the result, this is validity. Now in engagement, whether you can keep people engaged for long term, this is consistency, this is reliability. And whether engagement program actually is creating some kind of engagement, or it is just bringing in some fun element, this is validity. PMS. If reliability and validity is not there, then PMS actually becomes performance mitigating system, because anybody thinks my HOD is not a reliable assessor, not valid assessor. He cannot assess me correctly, and this demotivates the performers. So we need to train our HODs and whosoever assesses. If it is 360 degree, then we need to give them sessions and train them on how to assess, so that transparency, consistency, and accuracy is there. So that's how we can use reliability and validity in PMS. TA, talent acquisition. So now this is interesting, and we can do a lot here. Suppose you have an interview process and it has 4 different levels. So whether these levels are consistent. So junior level team, they have cleared the candidate. Second level team, they cleared the candidate, but senior management, they reject all of them. So junior level teams, they are just wasting their time, because they do not know what senior people, what management want. So the process is not reliable. This is internal reliability, as we discussed earlier, that different processes are not consistent with each other, right? And similarly, they can be validity. Whatever they are assessing, are they assessing what they actually want to assess? For example, they want creative people for some position and interviewers, and they give them the interviewees, they give them some question related to logical reasoning to solve a puzzle, to see their creativity. Now, logical reasoning and creativity, they are entirely different things. They are exactly opposite sometimes. In interviewing process, you may have also seen, if there are 4 interviewers, 2 of them will reject somebody and 2 of them will accept somebody. So it means there is no structured process in the organization. They do not know how to assess. They are not aligned with each other. So they are just using gut feeling. These kind of results show us how reliable our TA, talent acquisition process, and interviewing process are. Also in TA, you might like to know that from some campus, during some campus recruitment, you had 30, 20 or 100 people. So how accurate your hiring process is. So after 3 years, 5 years, or maybe even 1 year, you would like to see that the employees who scored good, whether they are doing good in PMS also. Is their performance better than others who scored less? If this is not the case, then the another case might be the people you left, you did not hire. Maybe they would have been better than them. So you can always validate. Now this is validity, accuracy. You can always validate your campus hiring process with your PMS. Attrition. Now this is important, because if interview process is not validated and reliable, then automatically the attrition will increase. The people who will get hired, they will not be the right fit, and they would like to leave, and they would leave. So to keep the attrition in check, we need to optimize our TA and interviewing process, and there should be reliability and validity brought in, infused into them, so that we have right fit people, and that will mitigate the attrition. Last, HR analytics. If you're doing any kind of HR analytics in organization, or you plan to do that, then reliability and validity of the data is at most important, because at the outset, if your data points are not reliable, they are not valid, then whatever results you will come up with, the results will not be reliable and valid, right? So you need to do it again and again to see the consistency, the reliability, and the data which is coming, that should be validated against some external benchmark, and you should be sure that data is valid. So this was about reliability and validity, and why these terms are important in almost all HR processes. If there are some questions you like to know more, you can write that in the comment section below, and I would certainly answer them. And as you know, I am Vikas Vats, and under HR Capability Building Program in Psychology for HR series, today we have discussed reliability and validity. We will keep adding more sessions in Psychology for HR series, and you may like to subscribe the channel so that you can keep yourself updated. And also many of the viewers asked that if they want to have a certification for this course, Psychology for HR, of course you can get that. So there are 3 processes, extra processes for that. So we'll give you a username and password. You will go through our learning journey management system, and you will see the same video again and answer a few questions based on that. We like to check that you have understood what we want you to understand. And after that, when you cover all the sessions, you'll get your certificate, and also there is a small fee for that. So if you're interested in certification, you can mention in the comment section. Thank you very much. Happy learning.